This is the Global Podcast Network, where executives and professionals connect, share, and inspire. Stay tuned for the conversations that drive success.
Hello. Welcome back to the show. Our founder and CEO and life coach at Low Brown Beauty joining us here today live, not from the windy city, but the hot city, but the rainy city. You're in Miami. What's happening down there?
Hi, Queens. How are you guys? Everything's my mom lives down here, so I just took advantage
Oh,
to get a little self-love and relaxation.
beautiful. Well,
Hello.
you look gorgeous. I know you
Thank
said it's
you.
raining there, but I'm sure that's
Yeah,
like temporary because it's
yeah,
Florida, right?
yeah, absolutely. Yes, it's off and on, but it's beautiful out here. The weather's beautiful. I think it's like 85. So
Beautiful. Well,
yes.
well, for those that may not know, tell us a little bit about who you are, what you do to
Sure.
start.
Okay, sure, Queens. Hi, everybody out there. God bless you all. My name is Lo Brown. I am the CEO and founder of Lo Brown Beauty. I have a beauty company, like a physical beauty company, but I'm a mental beauty company that beautifies you on the inside with motivational, inspirational, educational products and services. And they're crafted so you can cultivate a luxury mindset, develop confidence, self-esteem. If you're stuck in a rut, make your wildish wishes and fantasies become a reality. I've done it and I know you can too. So,
Oh my goodness. Well,
yes,
thank
ma'am.
you so much. And at Low Brown Beauty, I mean, you
Yes.
specialize in so many things, and it's mental beauty, as you say. You're helping tens of thousands of women. I mean, I don't
Man.
know how many at this point, but with your
Yes.
products, your books, your
Yes.
workshops, and so much more. So we are ecstatic that you're here.
Thank you.
And what did you kind of want to start with to focus on for today?
Today, I want to have a little fun.
Ooh,
I wanted to introduce a couple of my exercises that I've created that is part of my workshop, and they're also in the mental beauty makeup bag, which is at lowbrownbeauty.com. You can get yours. So I'm going to go over contouring your mind because we can't physically go back to our past because that's where
true.
it all starts. So I have an exercise to reshape your thoughts. It's something, and keep in mind these exercise
Are.
you have to practice.
Got
It
it.
takes 21 days to,
Wow.
to change your mind, your thoughts. So this doesn't happen overnight, but these are some resources. So you have to be resourceful. Okay. Then I want to talk about MB 7-Day Fitness Focus Challenge. It just challenges you to eat healthy, meditate, and pray just to get your mind right for 7 days. And if you can complete this, then you can move on to the next board, which is the journey board, where you get a target and you focus on, I want to write that book, start that business, get that bomb relationship. And then you can focus on that. And then we go through the steps on how to achieve that. But everything is a step, Jill. You
Yep.
can't just jump from here to there. We got to
Oh
learn.
no.
We got to reshape our thoughts. We got to start off where, go back to where it started.
Got
Yeah.
it. Well, we're excited that we're joining this and helping
Yeah.
us get through this. Go ahead, go ahead.
Yeah. So if you guys, I don't know out there, if you guys have a pen and paper, you can write this down if you
Let me
like.
get my pen and
It's,
paper.
it's
I like
a,
taking notes myself, so go
yeah,
ahead.
it's a really cool and fun exercise. So the first one is called Mind Makeup Contour Your Mind. So what this is about, it's about reshaping your thoughts,
Okay.
revisiting your past, and figuring out where did it go wrong, or what are you not getting that you as an adult want
Need and
in your life
want.
today.
Mm-hmm.
Because keep in mind, a lot of us are shaped because of what people have poured into us since we were younger. If you're an entrepreneur and are not around other people encouraging you to start a business, or you don't know how that goes, but then you're in the midst of somebody yelling, or people who don't know how to help you accomplish your goals and your dreams, then that's where the mix up is at. So now it's time for you to pour into yourself, change the trajectory altogether, and now you can start thinking differently and rebuilding from there. So the way you want to do it is this particular exercise. I have it right here. So I don't know if I know a lot of people, we're on
I can see
radio
it.
and
The
video.
mind makeup. Go ahead. What is it? I
Yes,
love
yes,
you in the center there. You look so
yes.
cute.
Thank you so much. Now the first box, there's I believe it's 6 boxes, okay? But the center box is where that's your new brain. So now we're about to fill up your new brain with a whole bunch of new stuff. So the first box here is where you would write say you start with your grandparents, your grandmother, grandfather, whether it's your mom's side or your father's side, I'm not sure. Or even if you don't have any grandparents, just put 2 lines up there in the top part. Now, underneath them, you want to write down all your aunts and uncles, okay, including your parent, your mom or your dad. Now, underneath there, you want to write down your parents, your mom and your dad's name.
Okay.
And then under them, you want to write down your siblings. Okay, all your siblings. Now, starting from the top, I want you to look at that, all these names that you have in box 1.
Okay.
And I would like for you to think about the people who did not pour into you in a positive way.
Oh,
Because when we're young, I remember that uncle who I was 14 and he purchased my graduation dress because my mom didn't have, a lot of money, or my aunt who baked me cookies. I want to keep them. So I'm looking at the people who really didn't, they had an opportunity to tell me something great, but they misled me. Those
exactly.
people,
Yeah.
line them out. Just put a line through their name. Even if you had a grandfather or grandmother that wasn't present in your life, line that box out, okay? Line out all the people in that box who did not pour into you in a positive way. Not saying they were bad people, but they just didn't do anything to really,
And sometimes
you
they
know,
didn't know better,
yeah, because they didn't know better. But at the same time, now this is about you, and you only want to focus on the positivity. So now, once you line people out, I don't care who it is, it could be a parent, it could be a sibling, it could be a grandparent. They did not pour into you in a positive way, or they were not even present in your life
Yeah.
altogether. Line them out. So now we're stuck with the people who have poured
Okay.
into our life. Take in box 2, write all those names of the
All right.
people
Box
who you
2,
count.
writing down names. I have
Yes,
quite a few family
yes,
members that I would like to
yes.
add to these boxes.
Yes, poured into your life who in a positive way. If you can't fill up the whole box, just the main ones, maybe like the top 5, okay, who really poured into you and they changed your life. Like me, my mother and them had 10 siblings. I think I boiled it down to 2 that I wanted that really, really poured into me, and I want to keep around. They every time I think about them, they provoke these positive thoughts, and just it's happy. So now we're creating our trajectory in our life as a child. So now in box 2, move those names there. Now in box 3, I want you to write down one thing that they've done to you, done for you, or said to you that really, really changed your life. Like like I said, my uncle who bought me that graduation dress, or that my auntie, she gave me like some change. I took Bob, she used to let me go to the store for her and then give me a couple of, some change just to make my day better, my life better. Or as a teenager, somebody who taught me how to drive or just spent time with me, just poured into me, somebody who poured into me in a positive way. Just write that in box 3. So now we're going to move over to box 4. I want you to write down all the negative things that were said about you that were not true. A lot of people called me weird, but you know what? I wasn't weird. I was a creative. I learned differently. I was a visionary. And when I was younger, they didn't bother to take time out to learn me or to learn how I learned or to be patient with me. So people called me weird. Some people said, I was like a late bloomer. I'm just being real with you. People, they said that I wouldn't become anything, in my life. Just that's terrible. When you're an adult and you have an opportunity to pour into a child, and you're saying these things, that could really shape their thoughts, their mind of who they become. Instead of telling them, getting them on the right track, point them into something positive, you're spewing all these lies that were not true because this is what you believed, and you actually believed it because when you're a child, you look to these people for guidance. So that's what you're going to put in 4. Now in box 5, I want you to bust that myth. I want you to write down things that the truth. So they said I was weird, but guess what? I wasn't weird. I was creative. I was a visionary. They said
Yeah.
I was a visionary. I learned differently. I was a good kid. I helped my parents. You know, I went to the stores for my, like they were all wrong. These things were all wrong. I became something in my life, you know, and just bust that myth out altogether in box 5. And in 6, I want you to write down the highlights in your life. I remember when I was younger, when I was in kindergarten, I forgot all about this. I wrote a poem that actually got into the newspaper. You know, I remember when I graduated, when I had to graduate and I had to pass the Constitution test, my mother, she was like, get it done and get it out the way. I didn't believe I could do it. And guess what? When I did it, it was the best moment of my life. It was just like, I couldn't believe it. I'm like, so guess what? I really was smart. You know what I'm saying? And I actually graduated. Because you just don't think it, you don't reflect on those things because you're so busy doing life.
Yeah.
So we have to go back and revisit those thoughts. Now, I want you to take everything from boxes 2, box
Okay.
3, box 5, and
Okay.
box 6, and put it in the center box. You can write all over the paper if you want, if it
Okay.
doesn't fit. But this is your new life. I want you to reflect on these things. And I want you to when you think of them, you get a rush of dopamine. Or like when you think of that aunt or that uncle or that person, this is your new family, your new.
Mm-hmm.
I only want you to think of positive things going forward. Think about these people who poured into you. We busted up all the myths. We actually know who we are, and we know who poured into our lives.
So
And
true.
that's what we're gonna focus on to change the trajectory of our life from the past. Because we physically cannot go there. So we have got to do this and we have to practice this. Don't focus on the negative. We're contouring, we're reshaping our brain. It's like we're taking it, our mind is a piece of clay, and now we're
We're
going to mold
molding
it to
it.
what we
We're
want.
starting from scratch. Yep.
Absolutely, Jill, Queen, you got it. So that's what we're going to do. So that's that exercise. So, and then you want to take this journey board or this paper and you want to put it someplace where you can look at it every day, just to kind of remind yourself. Try doing it for 3 weeks, 21
Okay.
days. And that will change your whole life. You'll start being more happier because a lot of times in our subconscious, we're programmed already with all these negative thoughts that keep popping up. But we gotta be stronger. Just like we diet and exercise to look good in our clothes, we have got to master our mental beauty so we can feel good in our soul. We got to take control of our emotions and we have got to take control of our mind. We cannot let it run rampant with all these thoughts. We've got to want change. And remember, effort is between you and you. It has nothing to do with me. I'm just giving you the resources. I'm telling you what helped me and how I got through it. And when I start focusing on the positive and toning out the negative, my life changed. And I'm here today because some of us are stuck. So this gets you unstuck. This is a start. Okay. You with me?
Yeah.
Are we present? I like to tell people that I like to use are we present because a lot of times we're not. We're stuck. We're not present. We're stuck back someplace that when you open up your eyes and you become present and you look around, you go, my life ain't even like that no more. That's not my life. I'm here. I'm in Miami. I'm living my dream. Like I am not there
I
anymore.
know.
And we're our mind sometimes tells us we're someplace else when our body is really here. So we need to get all of that on the same page. Our mind, our body, and our soul. We need to be on the same page. All right. So that's a one exercise.
Okay. What else do you have for
All
us?
right,
What's the next
we're gonna
one?
move on. We're gonna move on to the next step. So the next step, that MB 7-day fitness focus challenge.
Okay.
This card right here. This is a powerful piece of work. And I remember I created this back in, I want to say, I think 2012. I had the thought, but then I actually was able to focus on this recently to make it turn into a reality. And I got it right this time, I believe. So what this does is it it challenges you to 7 days. I mean, come on, 7 days out of your life. Come on, to change everything, to learn something
I
new.
think we could do that.
You know,
That's
in
easy. We
seven
could
days,
do it.
but you'd be surprised how many people can't. They cannot because they get so distracted. But this gets you on track and it gets you focused. So you have 9 things here. Morning meditation. I walk you through everything. So the first one is morning meditation, 15 to 17 seconds. And before you get out the bed, just lay there
I
and
got
be
15 to
present.
17
15
seconds.
seconds, 17 seconds. Then no, the second exercise is hydration. Before you get out the bed, drink you some lemon water. Keep that bottles of water by your bed. Take
Okay.
a couple sips before we start diving into soda and energy
And
drinks
all
and
the crap. Yep.
coffee.
Hmm.
Yeah. Now then you want to eat breakfast for 30 minutes. 30 minutes before you start 30 minutes after you wake up, you want to start eating breakfast just to get your body right. This is just for 7 days. We know we got other things to do, but let's just try to get focused for 7 days, get some discipline in our life. And
Okay.
then you want to get at about 10 a.m. a morning snack. All right, just to kind of settle down your stomach and stuff so you can stay focused. Then at lunch, you want to have you some lunch at about noon. Then after that, you want to have maybe like a protein bar or a boost just to get you going. Then at about 5 o'clock p.m., light exercise. Then some dinner at 6. And then you want to have some gratitude and prayer at about 9 o'clock p.m. And some little gratitude and a little prayer before you get ready and go to sleep. If you can do this for 7 days, then you should be able to accomplish that goal and that dream that you want, and you're ready. Because a lot of times I created this because I had treadmills sitting in my house that I had this great idea. I'm going to work out every day. And I actually had clothes on it, or I didn't
Oh
sign
my,
up.
that is exactly what I did. I had the
So
all
serious. I was sick of it. Or I signed up for this class and paid all this money. Oh, I'm going to do this class. Yeah, this beauty class or whatever. And I fell off, and I wasted so much time. Time is something you can't get back. I tell people, what beats free? Time. Time it takes to learn something, time it takes to invest in something. This right here will make you sure and will make you present. And then I take you where you got 7 little dots here, and you would check off every day like it's 10% for the first day, 10% for the second day, until you're all the way up to 100%. And then it says you did it. You accomplished your goal and your dream, and now you're able to actually go out there and get that treadmill. Or you might decide, you know what? I was just fooling myself. I ain't ready to do all of that. I don't want to go spend that money. But this saves a lot of time and a lot of money, and gets you focused on things that truly matter in your life. This is life changing, this exercise. And if you do it, maybe like do it every 6 months, just to do it's like a self inventory check to make sure that you're meditating, praying, and clean eating. That should be part of your life. That way you can get focused, because a lot of times what happens, Joe, is that our mind is all over the place. We ask God and the universe to give us certain things, but how are they going to give you something and you don't even know what you want? You don't even know. And you're
you
just
think you
sitting.
know what you want,
You
and
think
then
you
yep.
know, but
Hmm.
you don't. So a lot of times we got to be quiet and listen. And that's where that meditation piece comes in before you get up and when you're going to bed. You're going to have to be able to tune in so you can hear things, so you can feel things, so you can settle down and get your mind, body, and soul all on the same page. This is crucial before you go out there and you jump into something that's life changing, because that's where we have a lot of regrets. And that's where we waste a lot of time. And then we find ourselves 50, 60, 70, 80. And
And
again, like
life
I
just
said,
passed us by.
the richest place in the world is the graveyard. I keep telling you that because that's where all the hopes and the dreams that could have been born die, because we couldn't get focused. We
Ah,
couldn't put in the time. So this is crucial. And a lot of people, 20% of the people, they pass it. But a lot of people, they don't complete this because some happen. So then they need to start over. Don't be afraid to start over. You can start over and you can try it again and again and again. And you can help a friend or family member when they come to you saying, guess what? I got this great business idea. Or I want to say, okay, guess what? Why don't you try? Think about this for 7 days and do this exercise, and then come back and let's talk about it. You're going to have a clearer mind, clearer head, and be able to make better decisions. So this is amazing, the MB 7 Day challenge. This is part of your mental beauty makeup bag, and it's really, really cool. Yes.
wow.
So
And
that's mhm.
and let me ask now, because that you developed that in 2020,
What?
was it?
No, 2012.
Oh my gosh. So has anything changed? Did you have to add anything to the card?
Yes,
Or
I
do you see like
actually
what has
it was a
changed? Yeah.
it was a thought. It was just a thought, and I remember I made a video about it. And for each one. So what I did was I narrowed everything down and I was able to compact it because keep in mind, as I was going through my journey and the life changing events in my life, I was able to see things a little bit differently. So I had to
Yeah.
critique certain things and I figured out what was important and what really mattered to me. Because I had a lot of dreams and ambition. This just didn't happen overnight. I had to work and take care of my kids. Remember, I was in an abusive relationship. I had to get out and I did, but I had to still work. So while I'm working and having this beauty supply store and women changing people's lives, I still have things I'm going through and I'm trying to get focused. I'm trying to accomplish my goals and my dreams. So this is an exercise that I actually tried in 2012 because I went to a trainer and I'm thinking, my sister was like, you should go to this trainer. I'm like, I can't afford that. Come to find out he was super affordable. And when he taught me how to clean, eat, meditate, and pray. And the next thing you know, I started doing it on my own. And it was just like I was focused and I started losing weight. I started accomplishing goals and dreams. It really, really works, this particular exercise. So, yep, this is a good one, Jill. Yep. All of these are dear to my heart.
Well, okay. Well, let me ask you this now. For
Yes,
people
ma'am.
that we still have like plenty more time, but so people that want to get involved to start the program, what is the commitment process like, and how does it work after then the 7 days?
Okay, after the 7 days, then we move on to our journey board. Now you're able to write down a goal, and
I
these
see
are the
it.
actual steps that it takes to
Okay.
accomplish the goals and the dreams. Keep in mind, these are the steps that I took. And if you and you know what? I'm people haven't heard of me before, Low Brown Beauty. It's a lot of people who have, but I've been around for a very, very, very long time. And I have videos, documentations, newspaper articles to prove everything that I'm stating. I've done vending machines and during the pandemic, I'm in the who's who's of America. And I'm not saying this to impress you, but to impress upon you that it is possible. This is possible. I was there. I was you. You
Yeah.
know, I developed this because I had a shop in Harvey. Women were coming in, schools, actually students, and they were like, "Oh my God, this is such a beautiful shop." And then I showed them the before pictures that it was all white room, and how through manifestation, prayer, getting focused, writing down my goals and my dreams, asking myself these thought-provoking questions and not worrying about the how, but the why I deserve this. All of a sudden, my shop became full of products,
Yeah.
of people, of services, and it was just a dream come true. Little old me, and every day I think about that, I go, wow. So I have to share it. So yeah, this is the journey board. So after you do the MB7 Day Fitness Focus Challenge and you actually are successful at that, you want to move on to the journey board. First step is you want to get a target. You don't write anything down. The target is it might take you a day, it might take you a week,
Hmm.
but you want to focus on if I want to write, everybody wants to write a book, start a business, get that education, get that bomb relationship. But guess what? You got to focus on one thing at a time because what we focus on, we attract. And God in the universe is not going to know what to give you or how to give you what you want if you don't know. So we need to focus on one thing at a time. It's okay because we have time because you're gonna accomplish more goals and dreams once you understand the formula. So let's just pick one. Let's pick. I want to lose some weight.
All right. We'll
Okay.
do the weight loss
Yeah,
one
we'll do the
first.
weight loss one. So then I want to lose some weight. So now I finally found out my target. That's step one. Step two on the board.
I
Now we
see.
need to write it down. I want to lose weight because we have to breathe life into it.
And
Okay.
we have to keep it. How often do we have to look at it, and where do we
Yeah,
keep it?
yeah. We're gonna look at this board at the end. We're gonna hang it up and let this board hold us accountable.
Got it.
But we're
Okay.
gonna write it down first. We're gonna write down I want to lose weight, right? In box 2 on the journey board. Now, the reason why, because how's God in the universe gonna give you what you want if you don't know? And we have to breathe life into it. Everything's created twice, once in our mind and then in the physical. So to think is to put it in ink. So we need to write it down so the way we'll know exactly what we want. Hang on. Sorry.
That's okay. No problem.
Alarm went off. So that way we have to write it down so that way we can actually focus on this and we'll know exactly what we want. Because again, what we focus on, we attract. Okay. So now this is a very important step, step 3. Now that we've written down, we got focus, we know what we want. And you have to ask yourself, anything is possible, but is it probable? Okay. So what 2 things will happen. Okay. Now I want to lose weight, but I have a refrigerator full of food. 2 things will happen. Either I'm going to get rid of the food, raise my standards, or I'm going to say, you know what? I'm not ready to lose weight. I would like my food. I like to eat. And we're going to change our purpose. Not meaning you're going to know why you're not getting what you want or how to get what you want. So now like I said, this board is all up to you. I'm just writing down the steps. You're going to answer your own questions. So you're going to write down what it takes to lose weight. You're going to have to start eating healthy. You have to get up and exercise. You will write all these things down on the journey board under step 3. I'm going to have to lose,
Okay.
watch what I eat. I'm going to have to, get up and get out and move around and just really, count my calories and things like that. So now that you know what it takes, you have to ask yourself, how come you haven't been doing it? You know what it took to lose weight. How come you haven't been doing it? So like I said, at this point, 2 things will happen. Either you're going to raise your standards or you're going to change your purpose. You have to be real with yourself and say, I am not ready to lose weight, but at least I know what it takes or what I need to do it. So
Beautiful.
that's a great step. So now if you decide to raise your standards, you want to move on to step 4. Step 4 is about the only thing that separates you and say Bill Gates, Steve
Bill
Jobs,
Gates,
Oprah Winfrey, all of them is that they manage the 24 hours in their day wisely. You have to allot time to focus on your goals and your dreams, even if it's 10 minutes during lunch. And you want to lose weight, you eat, you clean eat, or you take a walk. It's not something where you have to just do everything all at once, but that time is allotted for you. So on my lunch break for 10 minutes, I'm going to walk. I'm going to go out and walk. That's my time. I allotted it. I have nothing else to do. I wrote it down because I looked at everything.
All right. Unfortunately, we have to go, Lolita.
Okay.
I'm so sorry.
Okay.
We're out of time.
No
Go ahead.
But really quick. These are available in my Mental Beauty Makeup Bag, and you can get it off lowbrownbeauty.com. And, if you have any questions, please feel free to inbox me or email me at mentalbeautyus@gmail.com. I appreciate you guys so much. Let's redefine beauty together.
All right. Sounds good. Thank you again for being here, for joining us. Enjoy Miami in the rain, but I'll be jealous later when it's nicer. All right. Have a great day, sweetheart. Talk soon.
All right.
Bye.
This is the Global Podcast Network, where executives and professionals connect, share, and inspire. Stay tuned for the conversations that drive success.